Introducing Brandeis University. Girls, roll dice, roll. Brandeis girls steal the show.
Natalie, your last name is Strong, which is quite fitting since you main base the only extended one-leg stunt in your routine. Tell us why you have to be strong to be a cheerleader.
Okay, so I think you need to be physically strong because your flyers are having to trust you to catch them, and without the trust, I don't think any stunts work, so you really need to make sure you're there for your flyers, strong enough to keep them up. I also think you need to be internally strong because a lot of the time if you mess up a routine, you got to ignore what people say, you got to keep going and just remain happy and confident.
Allie, have you ever been injured at a cheerleading practice? Tell us about one of your injuries. Did it hurt? Did you catch your flyer? Were you afraid to do that specific stunt after the incident? Does your stunt group do that stunt today?
Alright, so yeah, there was one time we were doing a twist down. For those of you who don't know, you throw your flyer in the air and she does a 360 and you catch her. And I happened to have been punched in the face and I had a bloody nose, so that was a really fun experience. However, my flyer has never hit the ground. My flyer will never hit the ground. I will not let that happen. If she's gonna hit the ground, I will be right there underneath her. And as for that stunt, I was definitely afraid to do it for the first few weeks, but I did end up doing it again and we actually performed it flawlessly in Culture X this year, which was wonderful. So I'm very excited about that.
Taylor, the team has a conditioning coach. Talk to us about the conditioning that goes along with cheerleading.
When it comes to cheerleading, it is an actual sport. So you do need to be in some good condition to be able to lift other cheerleaders. You need to have strong muscles in your arms and in your legs because it's a lot of leg work. And you do have to have some sort of endurance in order to dance continuously through the halftime routine.
Annie, you juggle more than one sport along with your schoolwork and other activities, and you are still committed to your team. Tell us why dedication to your team is so important.
Well, to tell the truth, the team they're some of the best people I've ever met in my life. They're my best friends. And dedication to my team is really the most important thing because if I wasn't there, or if any of us were not there, then I would be really letting everyone down. And you don't want other people to suffer because you're not there. So that's kind of why I dedicate to my team, because I really care about them.
Bruna, your group had a stunt go down during your big performance at Culture X this semester. Tell us how you handled that.
So basically what I learned from that experience and after watching the videos, the best thing to do when something bad like that happens, you just have to have confidence and know what your next step is. Basically we smiled, we powered right through, we got right into the next step, we didn't even hesitate. And honestly, if you look like you meant to do it, no one else is going to notice. In fact, our coaches didn't even notice that it went down. So clearly we were all excited, we were really confident in ourselves because we knew the stunts, we knew the dance, and we just kept powering through. And that's what's really important about cheer, is being able to power through when bad things happen like that.
Leanna, you came into this season as a new cheerleader, and you're a natural. Your smile and facials make you stand out. Tell us why facials are important in cheerleading.
So in cheerleading, it's really important to be enthusiastic and be there for the crowd so that they can feel the enthusiasm and see how happy and excited you are.
Sam, as a flyer, you have to trust your stunt group. Tell us about your group and how important their positions are.
It's so important to trust your stunt group because these people are throwing you in the air and then they're catching you. And what you have to understand about stunting is that it takes a while to get them to be as perfect as they are when we throw them up. In the beginning they're terrible and they always fall down, and you get thrown up in the air, and instead of going up straight you go sideways. And my stunt group has literally dived onto the floor to save me. There have been times where Annie has literally thrown herself onto the ground to catch me with her body like this. Like, just, they're so in tune with me, and they watch me in the air, and wherever I go, they're gonna catch me. And Rena, my back, she's so solid, and literally if I am not going up into a stunt, like a one-legged stunt, if I feel like I'm falling, she literally just shoves me up there. And when I come down, I don't feel like I ever come down in a coordinated way. I feel like Rena basically just catches me and puts me down on the ground. You know, the stunt group is so amazing, and Taylor is amazing. She's my front spot, and Erica is my other base, and together they just make this perfect platform, and they throw me in the air, and somehow I come down, and it all happens, and it's coordinated, and without them, I would have died so many times on the floor. I don't even know what I would do.
Erica, you have beautiful jumps. So, pop quiz. List the criteria for a good jump.
The criteria for a good jump: 1 is to smile, 2 is to keep your chest up, 3 point your toes, and 4 have fun.
Let's see that smile. Eliana, as a freshman joining cheerleading this season, what did you expect? Are you happy with how the season went?
So when I came, I really didn't know what to expect. I was like, cheerleading, but then it was Brandeis, so I wasn't sure how serious it was going to be or anything. So I just kind of did it to get out of my comfort zone and try something new. But I'm really glad I did, because the girls are really nice. I learned a lot of new stuff that I didn't think I would ever be able to do. I can go in a prep now sometimes, and so I'm really happy with the way it turned out, even though I didn't know what to expect at the beginning.
Marmar, in addition to stunting and tumbling, which are the things most people think about when they think cheerleading, there are many other important pieces of cheerleading. If you could picture your coaches yelling at you during a performance, what would they be saying?
So the first thing is to have tight motions, making sure that everything's clean, thumbs are tucked in, slaps should hurt your thighs, they should be red, and that your motions are just tight. Cheerleading, most people think of it as just dancing and whatever, but every motion, if you go into a high V, it has to be tight. If someone pushes down on your arm, it should not move. That, and also it's about having attitude, your facial expressions. You shouldn't look bored. You should be smiling, having fun with it. And if you're not smiling, that's when the coaches get the Vaseline for the teeth.
Rena, you're known on the team to be an excellent back. Tell us a bit about your role as a back spot.
Okay, so being a back is all about being strong. It's not anything like being a base or a front spot. A lot of the weight may be on the bases, but you're helping them in the back so your flyer does not fall. If your flyer is coming down, a lot of the time it's going back, and you have to be there and ready to catch your flyer and never let your flyer hit the floor. So being a back is something that's made me stronger and someone who like understands what it's like to be a team and in a group, because all together we work together and keep our flyer up, and I make sure that there's not a lot of weight on my bases or my flyers hit the floor and the front spot's not doing all the work. So basically being a back spot is like a great position.
Daniela, you are fearless. You're the first to volunteer for new stunts, and you're often caught saying, "Guys, we got this." Why is it important to have a positive, confident attitude and be open to trying new things?
As a cheerleader, you have to have a lot of spirit and be confident in what you do. That's just like basic criteria to look good out there. And for me personally, I just want us to exceed at what we do and be a really successful squad, and always trying new things keeps it interesting.
Julie, this team has been working together for 7 months. Tell us about the bond of the girls on the team.
So I started this, I had never been a cheerleader, anything like that before. And then first week of school, I heard about it and was signed up as a joke by actually another friend here. And ever since then, the bond has just grown. I stayed because of the people here, not because of the cheer aspect. I'm so not a sports person. It was the people here that like really just like made like this entire club so much fun. As much as it like is a sport, it's us bonding as a team that's making the stunts happen, that's making the dance look so great. Otherwise, we wouldn't have the greatness. Like we look great together because we're friends, and it's that aspect that really makes us such a great team.
Caitlin, tell us how cheerleading has impacted your life. What does it mean to you?
Well, first of all, it means a lot of fun times, a lot of good friends. I love cheerleading. It's one of my favorite sports of all time, and I love going to basketball games, and I love being with the people who I love.
Maya, you're our team captain and president and our only senior. We're going to miss you next year. You've been on the team the longest of anyone. Tell us a bit about the Brandeis community's view of the cheerleading team at the time you started cheerleading and how it's different now.
I mean, when I started, I think most people didn't really know that the team existed, and if they did, their opinion wasn't super positive. I know that the year before I joined, the team had 5 people on it, and they would perform at games, but they didn't do a whole lot. Even the year that I started, I think the most advanced thing we ever did was like an extension, maybe, and we did that like one time. So just like seeing the growth of the team and like how many people there are now and how much we've been able to accomplish is just crazy. Like it's so like satisfying for me to hear people like actually being impressed now, because that was not the case when I started, and I know it wasn't the case for a few years before I even got here. So yeah, it's just, I think the team has improved so much, and it's been so rewarding to watch it happen.
Marmar, how important is attendance?
It is imperative. Unless you are thrown up in the hospital, come to practice.
Even if you're throwing up, right?
You better be here!
Bruna, do your coaches get mad when you miss practice?
They get so upset with you because the reason why is we're a team sport, so when one of us missing, a lot of us suffer because we can't do our stunts.
Erica, do your coaches harass you when you miss practice?
Yes, they will call you repeatedly until you arrive.